Flat Stanley, Stanley in Space, Chapter 7. Present Old Story. Tea does help I am quite myself again. Mrs. Odd nodded to her husband. Go on, dear, tell. Rain drummed faintly on their starscouts, making even cozier the scene within. Around the dining table the Ramchaps occupied their usual place. The Tiarans sat atop the table on thumbtacks, pushed down to the serve as stools. Sipping from tiny cups Mrs. Ramchap had fashioned from the aluminum foil, and nibbling crumbles of her homemade ginger snaps. Now, sighing, President O set down his cup. You will have observed, Ramchaps, he said, how greatly we have enjoyed this tasty refreshment. The fact is, Tierra has for some time been totally without fresh food or water fit to drink. We live now only by what tins and bottles we had in store. Mrs. Odd made a face. Pink meat spreads, and the spinach, and the dreadful feijoa. A bit sweet, yes, said General Abb. Give one guess too, but never mind, cried Mrs. Odd. President Odd continues, the cause of our tragedy, Ramchaps, was Supergrow, an invention of Dr. App's Supergrow. App promised would double our crops, make them double size, double delicious as well. A great concept, he said. We scientists, said Dr. App, dream rather than other men. For 3 days at the Science Center, President Out went on apps through his Supergrow. Great smelly event of it. Enough for the whole planet. But then, oh no, Tierra will ever forget the 4th day. I myself was strolling through Ox Park. How beautiful it was. The tree was grass and green, the sky green, said Arthur. But everything brown here, not green. A mishap, murmured the Dr. Abb, with a Supergrow. Mishap? Barked General Abb. The stuff exploded all over the place. Well, nobody perfect. Dr. Abb hung his head. All those huge bats, Ramchaps. President Odd continued. Boom! And after another, shattered the windows, blew the roof of the Science Center. No one hurt, thanks goodness. But great clouds of smoke darkened in the sky, and then such dreadful rock. It began to rain. A tremendous rain mixed with the smoke falling all over Tierra, into the river, on every field and garden, every bit of greenery. Rising from his thumbtack, he faced back and forth across the table. When the rain stopped, there was no green, none, just only brown. Worst app test proved that our water was undrinkable, and that now here on Tierra would anything grow? I broadcast at once to the nation. Do not despair, I said. Tierra will soon recover. Oh, good, Mr. Ramchap said. President Odd shook his head. I lied. I couldn't tell the truth, for fearing of causing panic, you see. The test showed that it would be a year at least before Tierra was green again, and long before that we will have emptied our last tin, our last bottle of Viola. He sat down again, covering his face with his hand. So then we sent a message into space, rule some other planet's spaceship, we thought. Hold it for a ransom. You see, make them send food and water. Oh, shameful, underhanded. You will never forgive us, I know. His voice trailed away, and there was only the patter of the rain. Close to tears, the Ramchaps looked at each other. Then a little people on the tabletop. The Tiaran seems particularly tiny now, and brave and nice. You poor dears, Mrs. Ramchap said. There was no need to conquer us. We would help you willingly if we could. The Tiaran seems at first unable to believe their ears. Then suddenly their faces shone with joy. Bless you, cried General App. Saved! Mrs. Ott clapped her hands. We are saved. Saved? Said Mrs. Ramchap. Of course, said President Ott. Don't you see, Earth's spaceship can bring food and water to you. Oh, what's wrong? It was Arthur was explained. I'm very sorry, he said. But there was just a Star Scout. Earth hasn't got any other spaceship, and it would take years to build them. The Tiaran gasped. Years? Said Dr. Abb. Stanley felt so sad he could hardly speak. And it's no use going for food in the Star Scout, he said. By the time we return from Earth, would all we will, you know, that, said Mrs. Ott. In the Star Scout, terrible silence fell. The facts were clear. The cupboard of Tiara would soon be empty, and then all its tiny people would starve to death.